Hello. Hello everybody. My name is Bigfoot. Today we're doing our stream. We're actually writing a GOLang library in, well, GOLang. What else we're gonna be writing a GOLang library in, to be honest. And today is the first, let's call it, more professional stream than before in the last batch of streams, as I have a second monitor, or first monitor, which replaced my currently second monitor, which was my first monitor. I know it's confusing, but yeah, I bought a new monitor, set it up as a primary monitor, then set up my old monitor as a secondary monitor. Oh, this makes more sense, right? Uh, so this monitor here is my primary monitor, and this monitor here is my secondary monitor. This monitor will be used for monitoring stuff, while this one for code, like I do mostly. Now, if you join us and you're not subscribed, please click a subscribe button. It will be highly appreciated. It will let you know when I go live again, especially if you click the notification bell. Also, I will appear in your recommended sections, or it's more likely that I will appear, to be exact. And while you're down there, don't forget to click the subscribe. I already asked you to subscribe. Click the like button and chat chat with me. All chats are welcome. Now, let's see. Did it build? Huh. I think he did. Now let me just run docker run -it. I'm gonna give you -n dash name. Let's call, what should we call it? Hmm. Stream dev env. And today is, okay, today is 15. Okay. Now another thing before I, ooh, wrong screen. Yeah, that could be bad. And that is bad as well. Okay. Corrected. All things needed correcting. Now, all I need to do is press this enter button on my new keyboard. And I think this will work. Oh no, it doesn't. So I need to do this. Yes. Then I click file, no file, remote, open file in container, wrong container. We close the remote connection, right container. Currently trying not to show you everything, and I just click attach to container. Yeah, and we're up. Oh, there appears to be a problem. Let me see. Oh. Oh yeah, right. Makes sense. I think I might have deleted something that I shouldn't have deleted. Let me see. Alright, that's strange, but let's see. I'm gonna actually open up one of my old streams. That's strange. Hmm. Yeah, that's strange. Okay, oh well. Appears I accidentally removed some stuff I shouldn't have removed. Genius me. Now, let's make sure you don't look at my ugly mug any longer. Just and or you will still look at my ugly mug, but less. There we go. Let's see. So today we're doing a Go library. For that, I need to do .NET part. There's a reason for that. Now, as you very well know, we're planning to do a let's call it libdevenv. And let's move cd go to go cd go there libdevenv go mod init libdevenv /m go build. Okay. um, let's make sure the right things are here. Go. So this go thing. Anything else I need? No. And here we're gonna new file. Main go. Install all. This will install 8 tools for Go. Okay. No Go CC or GCC. Uh, apt install build essentials. Yeah, apt update. Apt install build essential. Okay, let's return to what we're doing. I think. Lol. Oh, there. So, hmm. So, what we need to do with this? Hmm. Hello. If you're watching, please talk in the chat. That would be highly appreciated. So I know that I'm not just talking to myself. And now let's figure out what we need to actually do. So we need is to get all the parameters, and we need to build a container based on that. Hmm. And thank you for the like. Now this reminds me, if you're not subscribed, don't forget to click the subscribe button. If you haven't liked yet, click the like button. And if you want to be notified when I go live next, click that bell button, whatever the hell it is. Right beside subscribe, I think. Now let's get back to coding. Huh. Func build env. Now this will take certain parameters we want from it, like name, string, let's see what else. Let's see what else. Uh, template string path string git repo string. I have a new keyboard and I'm kind of still learning it a bit. Uh, what else? Huh. This is this is the basics of it. Now there will be another version where you'll be able to define your. This is build dev environment, so it builds an image from it. So what you need there, it's some sort of an what we need is a Git library or a Git Docker library, Docker dash go library. There are two options. Go Docker client. There is Go Docker client by someone on GitHub called F. Souza. And there is another one by actually Docker people. The Docker client. So now we need to decide which one we want. So that is a Moby client. Or this Go Docker client. And I think I'm gonna go with this one. So what I'm gonna do, I'll prepare everything I need. I have somewhere a bit of how to correctly add it in. I'm not that good into Docker, so let's use help stuff. Here we go. That's the way. Oh no. Okay. So at this point, there is some crying by my editor, as there is not used. I'm gonna do docker dot, of course, go get go Docker client. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the chat. Would love to answer. Now, or just say hello. Okay, now I'm just gonna do something here. Um, so let's follow the link. Of course, it worked there. Let's just go build image build. On second monitor I also have opened the and again, don't be shy to write in comments or chats as they are. Huh, actually, I have a help for that. I'm just gonna hmm, if anyone has any idea how to build an image using Go, that would be amazing. But before we need to actually change some stuff, right? So we have our template. Template will have some settings to set, like so name is name of image. So see. But first we have some changes to do. As we get our template, we use template API server or use local template. So there will be some settings to set. Easier it would be if I could use struct, but I don't know how to use structs to move them from C# to Go. That's more a problem than getting structs to work in Go. So, but I can still build a struct from JSON. I know. It's gonna be a bit of a hacky way of doing things. So, or we could use, let's see. First, let's create our first struct. Will be type settings struct name. So let's go with settings. Uh, the idea is I'm creating getting a system for doing development environments, and I want to make a library that stands behind a console application, whatever application that can. It is written in language that can be compiled to a what is called some sort of static library or a static library. What's with me? A shared object or a DLL, depending on which language you're talking about. So what I decided is I'm gonna write it in Go because, well, I need to learn Go. And so now about the development environment. So basically, I wanna make a library that builds a development environment and then deploys it if necessary. So development environments generally will be made from Docker images. So actually, this runs in a sort of development environment of sorts. It's actually a Docker image that has everything I need inside, or at least I hope everything I need inside. Otherwise, I can install anything I want into that container is deployed from that image. Then I'm using Visual Studio Code Remote Dev, one of the extensions Remote Explorer, to select that image and sort of connect into it. So what then Visual Studio Code does, it deploys server side, a container side, basically a tool that runs as a server for Visual Studio Code, and then I can using some magic apparently. I can connect into it and run everything I want inside. And even if let's say I would have a server inside, like I don't know, what could it be? Like I'm testing an API, I'm working on an API, and I run it, You would think since I'm inside a not a VM, but a Docker container, I wouldn't be able to get a API outside. Actually, because it's server and it runs here, it actually creates a sort of let's just call it a tunnel between my computer and the container. So every I can use every port that's inside outside, and I can do that. So I decided to move most of my development stuff to a Docker containers or many Docker containers, each project having its own Docker container. And I've already written a couple of templates for that. So now I'm trying to write a whole, let's call it a tool or set of tools that will allow me to quickly deploy them based on templates. And this is the library that will be behind it all. Hope it makes sense. If not, please please ask more questions. So, and I am definitely a novice at Go and a bit less of a novice at some other languages. So I'm trying to make things actually work. That is why I'm gonna do settings as a JSON string, which then turns it to a struct, because why not? I guess because I I tried to get a struct from I don't know from one language to another, but I couldn't get it because there's some disagreements or something. I couldn't get it to work. So now I'm trying to get it to work some other way. I could get strings, but I couldn't get a Go struct to move for some reason. Or to go between, I tried Python, I tried .NET. .NET is what I'm gonna use as a library for that. So, well, I'm gonna try and mix and match my languages for some reason, because it's me and I like complexity more than anything. So I will publish it and make it open source on GitHub. I'm gonna probably slap an MIT license on it and have it there so people can look at it and laugh. That's the main reason it's gonna be there, so people can laugh at it. Because it's gonna be horrible, and it will have the list of videos so they can laugh right beside watching me fail. I'm here to provide mostly comedic value more than actual programming value. Now, let's see. We're gonna need a couple of things like in settings. So we're gonna need, let's say, um, user. So commit name is string, commit email is string. Now we're gonna set a template location string, and so I'm gonna actually marshal the settings string, which will be a correct JSON into a struct, because I have no idea how to do that. I think I tried for like an hour to get a struct or to get a C# struct into Go to convert it to Go, but I couldn't get it to do it. Actually, it uses C as a intermediary thing between Go and so C style um, static objects. So I thought I could get it to work, but I couldn't. So so I'm gonna be using, yeah, mostly C# based, and uh, I write C# on Linux. So that's kind of my thing. I'm a C# guy. For at least for private project, I'm C#. For work stuff, I'm basically every language you can think of. I probably had to try it at some point. And in many of them, or at least popular ones, probably not the language with no pronounceable acronym, probably haven't written in that, which actually exists. there is a language called language with no pronounceable acronym. I haven't written in that, but many like languages, popular-ish languages, I probably written something in for work. I write examples for work, so yeah. So, but for private stuff or like for my own project, like on streams, I mostly do C sharp because that's the language I'm most used to, being the from back in the days I was at school. Which, when I say back in the days, I mean a couple of years ago. Now, so we have template location. What else do we need in the settings? Actually, nothing right now. So first, it's gonna check if, okay, yeah, well, it's gonna have a. Um, I'm a I'm a developer experience engineer for Slim.ai. It's containers. We're making containers smaller, and I make examples for for the open source project we support and for our platform as a service thing. So I get a language or for example a framework inside some language and I write a basic example using it, and then I around it I do everything required for it to actually work using Docker Slim, which is a project we support and our main and one of main uh, contributors to it. So that's what I do mainly. Probably do some other stuff, but it's day-to-day stuff. What I or my boss think of, but that's main thing I do. Um, so if so, it's here we're gonna do setting in. And the reason I'm actually learning Go is so I know Go for, well, work, because we mainly use Go. Huh. What was so just trying it. That's the easiest way to do it. You go, you install Docker, where it be Docker Desktop or Docker Engine, depending on the operating system you use. Start pulling in images. Start creating Docker files. Look at the documentation. That's the way I learn. I start doing things, testing, trying making something that is absolutely not necessary and very much probably broken and will probably be broken for a while. But that's my way of learning. The best, and use Google. Use Google a lot. That's my way of doing things. So for JSON, we're gonna need encoding slash JSON, which we're gonna then take so we're gonna do settings. No, actually, no. Error. Okay. Error equals or colon equals. Actually, we don't need error even here. I think this is the right thing to do. Um, JSON.unMarshal settings in. So first we need to do this is env settings equals no, it's this var env settings this uh, and oh yeah, good job me. I have a new keyboard and I don't know which keys are where for some reason. In settings, so if what did you buy? Oh yeah, I'll buy it. Okay, makes sense. It turns into a byte. Since it turns into a byte array. Yes, actually, I am one of the contributors to Ubuntu Mate. As you see, it's the latest version of Ubuntu Mate. I sometimes help out with packaging of it. So let's change some. Let's change this. So let's go. Okay, this will work. Yeah. Template location. In setting template location equals string local. We'll do this. Pull up here. Uh, no variable on left side of. Okay, you really need an error there. Error declared. Well, this is one of the most infuriating things about if error then fmt dot print error dot error. And because I need to do this. Let me see how to handle this. If error GOLang. I know how to do error statements. Let's not. Oh, doesn't equal nil. and log.fatal. Let's go with log.fatal error. Log.fatal error. Now, what do you want? Struct type lib settings m.set don't have any exported fields or custom marshalling. Oh, JSON in GOLang. I think I forgot something. Basics of Go. They should work. They should work. I don't know why it complains. Okay. Local empty branch. Yeah, okay. Yes, it is an empty branch. It grabs a local template location string. Uh, I I help package all the tools, all Mata tools. So in the team there are a couple of us. So Martin and I, like I help I package for testing while he packages for the actual deployment into the into the image itself. So I do like for testing for our team members. So I do the versions that aren't meant for public use or are like development versions like 1.29 I believe, or 1.27 I believe the current development version if I remember correctly. I normally package those and then our team tries them, and when the full release version, which would be next one, would be 1.28, he packages those and sends them to, I believe he does it in Debian and Ubuntu, and then it is used in Ubuntu Mate. So I do the test builds of, and he does the production builds of Mate Desktop. Essentially, that's the role I currently serve. Not that much, but this is something. So fmt dot print test. So there is no empty branch currently. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go. So if it is local, else fmt.print. Okay, let's see if it pulls local. It goes. Hmm, file IO GOLang. I use Google a lot. Let's be clear. Every good programmer does, really. And I'm looking for files currently, so that would be um, mm, template. So it would be file. Actually, that would be outside. Var file template string. Yes, yes, yes. File template equals file template equals template error colon equals os dot read file, and we have Does GOLang have string interpolation? It isn't a lot of work. It's mainly learning Debian packaging, which is kind of pain to learn, and then, well, every so often testing packages, seeing what breaks, and if something breaks, find the cause. So find what library was either updated, removed, or needs some sort of or needs adding, and adding that and testing if it builds. So it's more or less iterative work over time. So here we do fmt aspirin. Apparently, this is supposed to work. Okay, s slash s um, and settings dot local, and third one being in settings dot, no, actually no, template. There. Yeah, I also know. Actually, packaging was my first thing I like doing in Linux, even before I actually actively use Linux for desktop. So I know how to package Arch packages, uh, Debian packages, snaps. I I would know how to do DNF, if not a DNF package, so that's Fedora Red Hat packages. So RPMs. Okay, it's RPMs. And yeah, that's about it. I know, as I said, I know snaps, Arch packages, Debians, and I would know how to do RPMs because they're fairly similar between Arch and RPMs. There's just some things you need to find in documentation how to define specific things like the install script and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. I haven't yet done any flatpaks. Like this. Declared but never used. How? Oh, it's never used, so it's actually declared and set thing, but never actually used. So if I go fmt dot print line file template, there it goes. Nice. Yeah, they do have some small cons. One of them, because of the security of it, they have a hard time to get stuff like teams inside, or teaming that isn't already either snapped or uh, as a packaging. It's completely different how normally you would package something like. But it is, so it is completely new, but they completely went for something that is nice to do. It's wanting to learn something completely new. It's very nice to do, very nice to define all that. Complete opposite of what Debian is. Second problem with that is its YAML file, and not everybody likes them. So YAML is some kind of like JSON. It's a human readable, even more human readable file format for writing uh, stuff like files. But so so you have a good IDE or editor like VS Code, that its problems aren't really problems. So it's problem for some people, I guess. But otherwise, for packaging, it really isn't that 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 problematic. But testing of package can be quite complicated because of the containerized nature. And another problem is because of how the uh, Snap team has the security set up. There is a concept of interfaces. So these are basically small connectors between your system and the container. You have some of those containers can be automatically set as connecting. So that when you actually boot your system, they automatically connect your system with Snap. But some of them aren't automatic, and you have to request access for it on their forums. So that can be a inflection point for you know potential problem, as you need to ask for that, and they will ask you why you need this, and so on and so on and so on, because they want to keep that kind of a hand over the ecosystem, as they deem themselves some bit of a security between you as developer and user, so that you do not basically do whatever you want with with the packages, and that they as and so users are actually can use the protections of the sandbox. Because if there will be nobody who actually did, it will either have to be everything is locked down completely, or everything is open. And what's the point of containerized file format if there is no security to it, if that is one of its main options, main benefits? So those are main problems with building snaps. As for certain things, they require to like check who you are, if you are really a developer of the app. Let's say, for example, classic confinement, which is basically it can do anything. It becomes kind of like a normal app, so non-containerized app. If you get that kind of access, you need to be, are you really the person who you say you are? So that people who just want to get hacks into the store or Bitcoin miners, stuff like that, don't actually get that. So there is some security checks, like it runs the app, sees what's happened, and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's pretty nice process. Whether you want to deal with that is another question entirely. I packaged some snaps, and I think none of them are anymore in the store because were removed by me, not by them, as I wasn't comfortable having broken packages in a distribution method. But yeah, now let's return to this code. If you have any more questions, please ask. I like answering them. Uh, now, uh, basically, if you have an ID, if there is an ID that is in Snap, then it is probably highly open. So the ID developer had to prove who they are so that they get that kind of an access. Most likely, I think most of them have classic confinement, which means there is no confinement at all. But for that, you need to be checked over. Most apps should, especially those stuff like that, should be feel like normal apps. But yes, IDEs definitely need more permissions because of everything they run. Actually, I can tell you right now, one thing that I know needs classic environment is terminal emulator. I once, for a video on some YouTube channel, I don't even remember which one, I I have actually basically snapped a terminal emulator. Xterm, I believe it was. Or it was Suckless Terminal. I believe it was Suckless Terminal, so that would be what is that thing called? ST, Simple Terminal. I believe I snapped that, and it was a whole pain to get it to work correctly without Classic. And even then, there were some inflection points with shell I was using at the time because it still has certain requirements for what needs to be inside the container and what outside. So it's an emerging technology. Snaps and even Flatpak for that matter are probably not going to be the last iteration of what we see in this container as desktop application format. There's probably something better, something even they will evolve and something will probably stand up after them that will be better. And but I do think that these formats, whether it be Flatpaks and snaps, should be used for most things, especially on the desktop and on servers. Docker is the main what you should use. Now let's see. So in else that means it's in what is that? That means it's in not in local but on server, which would mean I need a func to access API server with templates. I'm currently not developing that because I don't have an API server yet. So there is no point since I don't even know how API will look. It's gonna be a future functionality. Let's add a to do here. To do. Uh, I haven't tried Podman. It's at the end of the day, one of the great things about Podman, Docker, and others like them, they're actually just uh, uh, they're just runtimes for what is essentially OCI compliant containers or OCI compliant images. So whether you build a Docker container or Podman based containers that using BuildAch or any other build system that builds OCI compliant images, they can be run on Kubernetes, on Docker, on Podman, on container C, on, for example, on even lambda based container lambdas or any other runtime that they use. Or did I mention run C? Did I mention container D? Basically, all these options that you have for OCI compliant images, which is what Docker produces and things like it. Podman, but to go back to the question, I haven't tried Podman mainly because I don't see a reason to try it beyond just seeing the alternative. But currently, I need to use Docker for most of the things, so I don't see a reason for me. But if you use Fedora or any any distro that is stems from that world, you most likely want to use Podman as it is the main choice of in that world. So in the world of Red Hat Fedora on that side of the pond. But I know that that really doesn't matter because well you're running an OCI compliant image. And if it works in Docker, it will very likely work in Podman, work in runc on containerd, and because of that, it will also work in Kubernetes, which is the fun part, as always. Now, let's see here. So what here, what we want to do, we're gonna actually change this to a string. Byte array, GOLang byte array to string. So let's convert. Okay, all you need to do is file template string colons equals string file template. Okay. My keyboard is G512, I believe. Yeah, G512 Carbon. You might hear the clickety clack of the switch it uses. This is some, I believe it is GX Red, something like that. Yes, GX Red. That's a Logitech keyboard. Let's see. So now we have that. So now replace string replace GOLang. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be going with file equals strings dot replace and oh, so we need to pass in a string, so file template, old string being what we're going to be replacing, and new string what we need, and uh, and int means so we want just one version of that. So we go with first we're gonna replace each one of the tokens here. So for example, first one is pet, or we're gonna do a token for pet. So we're gonna use dollar sign or an at symbol, for example. Pet. So this is what will be in the template itself to replace with things that are inside. So pet with PAT. One. Next one will be at git repo with git repo. Now third one will be username with at username. This is for the start. There'll be also be other things we'll be replacing. It's a pure function, but its return value is ignored. Huh. That's strange. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Then we're gonna just simply go further with this, since we need to understand, I need to place git config name and git config password there. Git config email. So those are in settings. With in settings, commit email, in settings. Why I'm doing this way? Because I'm gonna be just taking a slice of actual settings that I'll be writing inside the application itself, the front end. You're gonna have to define certain things as settings. PAT is a personal access token. It's essentially a way to authenticate an application with certain other applications. So let's say on GitHub, you can create a path for to use with, let's say you have an application that directly connects to your GitHub, where it be pulls down private repository, stuff like that. You can use this path string to use instead of a password. So you don't have to write a password every into an application, your own password in an application. You can use a path, and even then you can actually define specific things what that path can access. Let's say you want it to only be able to push and pull repositories, so push and pull code. You only enable those. It cannot change settings. It cannot change any other thing besides push and pull packages, whether it be private or public packages. So for pushing packages, let's say you want to push something, which is what one of the things this path will be doing, you need to enable push and pull functionality. And many applications have these paths. The system of paths, or some are called API keys, some are called access tokens, but the general name is personal access token. At least most of the time I hear it as that. It's a pretty nice functionality if you ask me. If air nil This is especially useful if you're not 100% sure what app is doing. Let's say you're using a third-party SaaS, or so that's software as a service. Let's say you have a, let's say you're doing an application and you're you're pulling and pushing from one repository to another, or you're using that to do a, what is it called, a CI/CD pipeline. You can use path instead of password, which makes it more secure. As I said, like, you can define specific things that it can do and nothing more. Now to replace those 5 things, all we need to do is now is export the file into temp directory. So os.write file name, so slash temp slash docker. I'm going to actually do an interpolated string. fmt.sprint f. I think I need to be in here as well. Print f. Sprint f slash temp slash, what's the name of, let's call it percent s dot percent s. Let's go here, name of image. Actually no, here don't need, it's a docker file, like that. There. Now here, so that it be when it actually return it into file template equals file template string dot let's go string to byte arrays, not C# but GOLang. So what you need to do is just do this. Yeah, perfect. It does it on its own. And I was looking for a solve file template. os.file mode uh, 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 temporary, let's say. The defined file modes are the most significant bit of file mode. The 9 significant bits are the standard Unix. I'm gonna change that if necessary. Now, this part might be a bit tricky for me. Well, I still think C# is better. Honestly, I'm not a fan of it. At least not a big fan of it. Especially when we get to creating your own Go modules for using our applications. It can get quite a bit complicated. At least it did in past for me when I tried this. Even in the same directory, this can get pretty complex. That's why I'm gonna write a single file. I'm gonna be a pretty sneaky. I'm making things a bit complicated, but then again, I've seen 1,000-line GOLang files, so yeah. Build Docker just with Go. Okay, what I need. Now, so we're gonna be using these Docker imports currently. Currently, that is. Be a problem. Is there a quick fix? Yes, it is. Go get. Go get. Why? Okay. It doesn't wanna go get. Go get this. Go get this. And go get this. It actually uses GitHub as a way to do this. It's really weird. I use .NET Core. It's way better than Mono. Or more specifically, actually use .NET, the newest version, which is what follows .NET Core. So I use .NET 6. .NET Core was still 3.1, then they switched to a unified framework which combines .NET Core, .NET Framework, which is the one that only works on Windows, and the old one, and Mono together into .NET, a single unified base class library, basically. Currently, I'm trying to figure out how to build an image with Go, because you can. There you go. GOLang SDK build image. Yeah, .NET the .NET 6 works on Linux native. They wanted to keep the same functionality as .NET Core, since it's actually a direct ancestor or direct next step from .NET Core, but it combines certain attributes of .NET Framework and .NET or Mono, so into .NET Core. So, and they named it .NET as a unified thing. It can be confusing, but it's .NET 6. Okay, run a container. Great, maybe I can figure things out. SDKs. Go SDK. Reference. Nice. At least something. Now, build client image build. Yes. Let's do a demo to build image. Okay. If we would have any kind of sample, it would be great. Go docker SDK client.build image. Let's see if I can find something. So let's do it this. Let's see if I can get it to work. Client. Okay, so I hate this. I really hate this right now. Uh, go Docker client. Maybe this will help me a bit. Let's see. Maybe this project will help me. Hmm. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. App. Da-da-da. Master. Builder. Image builder. Go. I'm still figuring things out. You would think I would have things figured out before I started streaming, but that's not how I do things. Client go. Okay. Build image here. Here we go. I still don't get it. So that's a fine stream. Yeah, it's not really fun right now. I need to figure this out. Sometimes you gotta do this when programming. Try to figure things out. Okay, app.go. Basic image builder. Well, there is another option as always, since, well, you need to have Docker installed for this to work. Docker, so all I need to do is do this. cmd exec dot command .net or .net docker build dot any directory will work because there is nothing to copy from your path -f, or at least shouldn't be. And then we do /temp/ oh yeah, we need this guy here. And then we do cmd dot comma, so that would be to the out error colon equals cmd dot cmd dot output this error. That's this should work then, right? Okay, now we do fmt dot println string. As I said, this is janky as hell, so why not? if error doesn't equal nil, log dot fatal error. That's it. I think that's the all we need. Oh no, it's not. We need to tag the image as well. So almost forgot to tag the image. Dash T and name of image. It's actually not gonna be that. It's gonna be an fmt printf dot, and it's gonna be %s slash or colon latest, with this going like this. Name of image. That should be it. That should be it for first version of built-in function. Now, because I want to hide how horrible my work is, I'm gonna actually hide it. Now, next one being func of run image or run env. We're gonna need name of image string. And that's it actually right now. This is completely basic. Later on we're gonna do, if you have a Docker compose, you do this. And I think this should be a bit more straightforward if I am correct. Now let's see. This should be more straightforward. And I'm gonna actually, sorry for this, I'm gonna cheat a bit. I have this code on another computer. I just need to log into that computer, if I can. But I can't because I pulled the wrong cable out. So I need to turn it off and turn it on. I hate KDE. There is a reason I use Mate normally. I tried KDE for fun, but it isn't fun when you remove a cable like this USB-C one, because I use USB-C for screen on laptop, as I have a hub, it just doesn't work. The screen doesn't work correctly. It's fun. Now I rebooted the machine. I was first Linux system that I used was Ubuntu. Then I switched to Arch. Used Arch for more than a year, but then I had a string of bad installs, and that really got me to hate Arch. So what I did was switch to Ubuntu, and because well, I am okay with current GNOME, I wanted to try something else, and that I decided to try Ubuntu Mate, and I essentially fell in love, so I started working on that as well, and Rest is history, as they say. That should be in source here. Yes. Now I just need main.go to open, and I have a I have everything I need to do. I'm gonna create a client first. Client error colon equals docker dot new client from environment. Boom. Currently, I use the what is it called? I use some. I need a lot of tweaking myself. Small tweaks over time. But what I use is the closest thing to it. It's Redmond version of it. The so that is kind of Windows-like essentially, with menu on the left side and all that. Okay. Great. Now we're gonna check for errors. So error nil log dot fatal error. Okay, I don't need that, I don't need that. Oh yeah, I need that, yeah, okay. So what I need is config colon equals star config with this like this. No, I have an NVIDIA card as I'm streaming, so I need to have an NVIDIA card. No, actually with Ubuntu it's pretty simple. I just loaded it up and it went. I put the card into the system. I plopped USB in, installed Ubuntu Mate, selected the install third-party drivers, and when I rebooted, NVIDIA was there. Simple as that. And actually, these days, if you go with uh, Ubuntu Arch, its new installer actually does set up NVIDIA pretty nicely for you by itself. Yes, this import system is absolutely crazy. It uses Git itself or GitHub, so it uses Git to get files in some way. It has no official package repository. You still install packages, modules, as you would just install them, but you need to put a GitHub link. It's You can also use any other Git-based CMS, so it's pretty weird. And setting up it pulls down the correctly. It's also weird because you need to use tags, and I never got a proper module to work of my own. So that's why I'm like, do you want to use it? Maybe. But I decide if everything is in one file, it doesn't really matter. Yes, I would think so as well. But then again, I got, let's call it, spoiled by C# and .NET, which has NuGet and which is really good. So we want, now we're here, we want image to be name of image, which will also include a tag. Oh, what? Why? What? Oh, hmm. Sorry for a second. Need to take care of something. Now back here we are. Let's just go. We need to do container error equals client dot create container. First we're gonna do docker dot create container options. Yeah, yeah, that is also true. The new modules will be a godsend for everybody who does this, which is just but it's important to know that it's not everything that those do. A lot of people think that those are like basically they do everything now, but it's important to know that uh, the actual modules, the hard part to install, will be open sourced. But the more easier part, the user land components, like actual APIs for like CUDA and NVENC, will still be closed sourced for now. Apparently, they plan to. They apparently, this is what I read. They do think of changing that in the future, but not right now. Uh, Container opts goes here. Now we go container error client dot create container. Container opts. Mm, if actually, why am I doing this? I can just do this. Next one being client dot start container container dot id and container dot host config, and if there's any errors, do this. And that's it, actually. Now, if we want to stop the environment, we can do it from Docker, or I'm gonna actually do a func stop stop inf. Actually, here's another one. Name of inf string. Reason for this is so I can do um, name. Let's see. I tried to type on my secondary screen, or not type, touch it. That's not gonna work. Go get. Oh yeah. Currently we need a func method, func of main. That's fmt.println yay, because so we can actually just build the thing. Oh, there are 3 errors, 3 problems. Func method unused, or main. Docker, github.com, what? No. Yes, that's essentially what it is, as far as I know. And then they use it to make Kubernetes, and everybody started using it for anything container based. Not container based, but container adjacent. So for some reason. Go cat. No, don't require this. No, I didn't use Groovy. Why are you airing it out? Let's delete this. Uh, go mod tidy. Oh, music function body, yeah, of course. Go get. Uh, go error exists. Go updates to go. Yay, but I don't get any output for some reason. Go build, go run. Oh, go build main.go. Where is my output? Dash O test main.go. Where is the file? Go run. Go run main go. Package command line argument is not a main package. This error is weird. Here we go. Uh, let's try this again. And there we go. Function main is undeclared in the main function. Try this in the main package. Okay, now it builds. Good job. Go run main go. Yay! Of course, in reality, yay is more yay. It's sarcasm. Now, at this point, we want to add a func for stop env, which will just need one string, which is name of env string. Now I can do this. We go. Da, da, da. This. Now, how to stop a container? I think I have here that as well. Never underestimate the power of old code. Okay, client dot stop container. Now we need to get an ID somewhere. 10, which we believe we can get client get okay. I think I know how to get the data. Let's see. Put this. Okay, who cares? No, not this. This. Yes, this. And I'm gonna go look for a container name. Stop container. Let's see if we can do it by name. Get container. Huh. Now how to get a container by name. Everything requires ID. This could work. So wait to upload to container. So I think I have an idea. List containers. Really, you need to have a list opts smiley face. Docker dot list container options, which we then do this, and because container much that all true. Oh, filter. Filter. Filter, filter, filter. Now if I could figure out filter. List container options filter. Oh no, I don't know how the hell to write that filter, so I just won't care. I'm just gonna do this. List ops. Go put here. You output an error and API containers. Okay. Containers error colon equals. We check for error, and then we're gonna do a for loop or for each loop, whatever I can do. For each loop GOLang. Okay. For index uh, colon equals range range containers. If element dot name names names equals element dot names. Okay. For underscore element name element equals range names. Then we do if if name element equals name of env, then we put container ID string var container ID. Never used yet. We go container ID equals name element and break. Oh, and we also set var is broken bool, and we do is broken equals true, break if, actually no, I'm gonna do is broken colon equals true. This way, if is broken break. Now container ID, blah, blah. Container ID. Sorry for that bit of concentration on the code. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Sorry for a bit of intermission. I'm gonna just take a drink while you watch a great screen. It appears I was just talking to myself, forgot to turn on my microphone. Good job, me! You just listened to silence the last 10 minutes. Big round of applause for BigPod in chat section right now. Let me help you out with that. There you go, a giant round of applause from me to myself. Everybody just copy that and send. Good job, me. Now, okay, so once again, I'm gonna go into the same title I just started. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, press the subscribe button, but there is a tiny little bell. Click on it if you wanna see when I go live next time. You will get a notification. You will also get a notification if I start a new video or upload a new video. You can watch that too. If you enjoyed again, press the like button. And if you watch this afterwards, don't be shy and comment down below. Those of you who watch till the end, thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you next time with more me being a bad streamer. Goodbye. You're probably thinking what I'm doing right now. This.